During the Second World War, Nazi military engineering developed an obsession with extreme scale. But while heavy tanks were measured in dozens of tons, one creation completely shattered the boundaries of physical reality. Weighing over 1,300 tons, firing shells as heavy as a full-grown elephant, and requiring a crew of thousands just to function, this was Schwerer Gustav, the largest artillery gun ever built in human history. But was this 800mm steel monster a masterpiece of strategic engineering, or history's most expensive military mistake? To understand why Gustav was created, we have to look back to the late 1930s. France had constructed the Maginot Line, an impenetrable wall of concrete fortresses, heavy artillery, and underground bunkers designed to stop any German invasion. German high command realized that conventional artillery would barely scratch these concrete fortresses. They needed a weapon capable of piercing 7 meters of reinforced concrete, or a full meter of hardened steel armor from miles away. Adolf Hitler turned to Krupp, Germany's leading industrial manufacturer. The assignment was simple yet absurd: design a gun that could achieve the impossible. What Krupp delivered was not just a gun, it was a moving industrial fortress. Named Schwerer Gustav, the weapon featured an 800mm barrel that stretched nearly 30 meters long. The total structure weighed 1,350 metric tons. To put that into perspective, that is heavier than 2 full-sized commercial passenger jets combined. Its ammunition was equally terrifying. Gustav fired 2 types of projectiles: a 4.8-ton high-explosive shell for surface targets and a massive 7.1-ton concrete-piercing shell. The projectile alone stood nearly 4 meters tall. When fired, the explosive force could propel these steel monsters over 28 miles away. However, raw firepower came with a crushing logistical reality. Gustav was so unbelievably heavy that no standard railway line on Earth could support it. It had to travel on specially laid double-track railway lines. Moving the gun required completely dismantling it into several key components, loading them onto a fleet of 25 specialized train cars, and assembling it at the firing location using 2 giant gantry cranes. Operating Gustav was a massive military operation. It required a crew of over 4,000 men, including railway engineers, assembly workers, security personnel, and a dedicated anti-aircraft battalion to guard it from enemy bombers. Assembling the weapon alone took up to 3 full weeks. Despite its immense complexity, Gustav saw actual combat only once. In June 1942, during the siege of Sevastopol in the Crimea, the gun was deployed against Soviet fortifications. Over several weeks, Gustav fired 47 armor-piercing rounds into key Soviet fortresses. Its most devastating strike hit Fort Stalin and an underground ammunition depot buried 30 meters below the seafloor under solid rock. A single hit from Gustav penetrated the rock, destroyed the bunker, and detonated the Soviet ammunition, causing a colossal explosion that shook the entire bay. Sevastopol was Gustav's first and final victory. As the tide of war turned against Germany, the monster became a massive liability. It was far too slow to reposition, consumed astronomical resources, and was extremely vulnerable to enemy airstrikes. In April 1945, with Allied and Soviet forces closing in from both sides, German forces blew up the masterpiece of engineering in a forest in Saxony to prevent its capture. Schwerer Gustav remains a legendary testament to human engineering, a terrifying marvel of technology that ultimately proved too big, too expensive, and too impractical for the realities of war. Thanks for watching The Dead Know the Truth. If you want to uncover more forgotten war machines and bizarre historical anomalies, hit that subscribe button and leave a like. See you in the next episode.